What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the 182 News YouTube page. Appreciate you checking out this video. If you're into Blink history, Blink collectibles, you're in the right spot. Be sure to sub to the channel. Today, I want to hit on what I think are the top 3 Blink-182 collectibles you could ever get your hands on. If you could pick 3 items in the world, these would be the 3 that I personally would pick. Now, I've been collecting Blink for quite a long time, but I do want to say, if you're just getting started, you got to start somewhere, and it's okay if you can't get some of the big pieces. For the longest time, the only Blink collectible I had was a guitar pick from Hoppus, and I cherished the shit out of that thing for years before I could even begin to think about buying some of these expensive pieces or really any pieces at all. So it's okay. You got to start somewhere. Today, I want to hit on what I think are the top 3. These, in my opinion, have to be some sort of official release. It can't just be a random item. You know, you could say, well, Blink signed my skateboard. That's super rare. Nobody has it. Yeah, I get it to an extent, but I wanted to put these as like the top 3 most sought after items from hardcore collectors. So without further ado, I'm going to hit on my top 3. I'm going to count these down. And then because these are really, really rare, some of them essentially unobtainable, in my opinion, I'm also going to do a follow-up video on this with the top 3 realistic collectibles. For those of you who are kind of right there on the verge of hardcore Blink collectors, that video will be some obtainable pieces, I think, that pop up several times a year. The ones I'm about to hit on today really never pop up, ever. Thankfully, I have a couple of them, which I'll show you. But these are basically impossible pieces that you have to be extremely careful when purchasing, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. So let's start off at number 3. You know this countdown's gnarly when number 3 is the Buddha tape. For a lot of folks, this is the holy grail. This is 1994. It was a demo tape, super rare. For those of you who follow the podcast or my YouTube page, I've done a ton of research on this, studies on this. Came out early 1994. It was available at shows, probably $5. Discogs is wrong. Discogs says there's 1,000 of these. There is no way in hell. I've talked to Mark about this. I suspect there were only probably a couple hundred at the very, very most. I actually think it's probably quite fewer than that. But number 3 for me, and you will not see these pop up because it took me forever to find one, is the Blink Buddha tape. Coming in at number 2, this is an insanely rare piece. You may not have ever even seen it. This is the 21 Days cassette. So for years, we thought this was demo number 2. That's what it was called for a long time. The only reason we even knew it was called 21 Days is because Mark found one of his copies. I'll put in a picture of it right here. He was going through some storage tubs and found a copy of it. Interestingly enough, the song 21 Days is not on it. This is an extremely rare early Blink release. This came out mid-1993-ish. We think you will not see this often. In fact, I mean, I think this is the second one that I've even seen with a J card of some type. I'm honestly even kind of scared to even hold this or post too many pictures of it. Thankfully, I was able to score one of these. Just gnarly piece. That's coming in at number 2 for me. Essentially unobtainable. I would be shocked if more of 10 of those exist or ever did exist. Coming in at number 1, this is the Holy Grail, in my opinion. Don't have this. Wish I did. This is Flyswatter. This is the very first Blink demo. You could buy this. If you look at the J card, there was a P.O. box you could write. They did sell some of these. But to me, this is as rare, as rad as it gets. A lot of collectors out there would pay a ton for this. You have to be extremely, extremely careful with Flyswatter. There are forgeries out there. There are fakes out there, quite a few. In fact, I think as far as authentic pieces go, I think I can only, I guess probably 3 or 4 that I've seen. I would estimate around 20 to 50 of these probably were made at some point, but this is an extremely rare Blink-182 collectible, the Holy Grail. So there you have it. There's my top 3. If I could pick any Blink-182 items, of course, back then these were Blink items, these would be the top 3 that I would pick. So again, number 3, the Buddha tape, so rare. Number 2, 21 days, even rarer. And then at number 1, Flyswatter. Now, I will say, actually, 21 days is probably rarer than Flyswatter. However, being as Flyswatter is the first kind of official recording demo that we know of, that's got to be the one for me. Although, there are 2 previous recordings that I know of prior to that, but they weren't officially distributed or given out or anything. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to do a follow-up with the 3 realistic collectibles. So pay attention for that one. Those are things that will actually pop up that you can actually get your hands on in some capacity. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, I would love to hear your opinion. What are your top 3? What do you think about my top 3? Drop those below. Be sure to sub to the channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.